Hi everyone, my name is Anisha Mehta, and today I'll be presenting two epidemiological studies related to the 2014-2016 Ebola outbreak. One is a cohort study and the other is a case control study. And I'll briefly walk through their designs, findings, and how they can inform public health responses in post-outbreak settings. So the first study, titled A Longitudinal Study of Ebola Sequelae in Liberia by Sneller et al., is a prospective cohort study that followed over 900 Ebola survivors and more than 2,300 of their close contacts for a full year after the outbreak. And its main purpose was to assess long-term health issues among survivors. And participants were evaluated at 6 and 12 months, both clinically and through lab testing. And key findings showed that survivors had significantly higher rates of musculoskeletal pain, headaches, and eye problems compared to controls. And some symptoms lasted a year or longer. So the strengths of this study include the large sample size and the inclusion of a control group. And a few weaknesses include recall bias and some loss to follow-up, which could affect generalizability. So the second study is titled Disability Among Ebola Survivors and Their Close Contacts in Sierra Leone. And it's conducted by Jagadish et al. And this was a case control study involving 27 survivors and 54 close contacts. And the researchers examined vision, mobility, and cognitive disabilities among survivors compared to controls using structured interviews and physical exams. And they found that survivors had significantly higher odds of disability, particularly in vision, movement, and cognition. And this study's strengths were the use of standardized tools and matched controls. However, its small sample size and potential selection bias were some limitations I thought were in here. So, the to compare cohort studies, like the first one, track people over time to assess incidence and changes in health outcomes. And case control studies, like the second, look backward to compare those with a condition to those without. So, together, these studies underscored the importance of post-outbreak support. And the cohort studies supports the need for long-term care services to manage chronic symptoms. And the case control study highlights the value of rehabilitation for disability recovery. And I think that both emphasize the importance of planning survivor care and allocating resources for long-term recovery and future outbreaks. And these are my citations. Thank you for listening.